Yo, 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 we back like South Crack, which is our sponsor. This is Late Night with Sharif. I am Sharif. And to my right is Mr. Michael Bailey. And man, he's going to tell you what he's got going on right now. We're glad to have you, brother.
Thanks for having me, man. I've been waiting for a minute to get over here. I've been hearing a lot about you.
See, they waiting to get on here now. Y'all heard that? They waiting to get on here.
I heard you've been building an empire on the low, man. I wanted to come out and see what you had going on. Check you out.
Man, we've been in the house a long time. So, I've been in the house 20 years, working a regular job, wanting to get out here and get in the community and do things and just not write a check and don't get to be a part of anything because you're working all the time. So man, it's good to be out here doing something.
Man, where'd you get the idea for this, man? What?
The podcast?
Yeah.
Well, everybody's doing a podcast, but I gotta give credit to my boy Daniel Chestnut. Okay. He had P.P.S podcast, and he wanted me to come on episode of Real Raw and Reflection. Mm-hmm. And at the time, they had some other members, and they were doing some other things like football coaching, and one was having some health issues and stuff. So I filled in, and it was a real good fit and everything like that. So we started working, and then the more, I'm 47 and they're in their 30s. So we wasn't talking about the same thing, and my image was important to me. So I didn't want to just be on in a situation where people just saw me drinking all the time and everything like that. And, laughing and joking, and, we had serious conversations and things like that. But I just wanted to get a little bit more, of my control and everything like that. But, shout out to Daniel, though. He gave me the idea because I was, like, camera shy and everything. And now I just, I like being on it and everything.
Okay, man. So, I appreciate you letting me in on that. But I want to know where you trying to go with it, man. I love you guys set up, man. You got a 6-figure setup here. You got the music production, you got lighting, you got the angle switching camera angles. Right. So where you headed with it?
Well, I mean, it started out as just being something fun to do and do something for the community for free, but everybody's been telling me how to monetize off of it, and that's not what I got in it for. Okay. But I want to know now, because people got to get paid because we're taking a lot of people's time up. We have a co-host, we have, it needs to start making a little bit of money. So, but where I want to go with it, I want to get to, where it's Columbia's way to come, and because everybody's got a podcast, but everybody's podcast doesn't look like this, Everybody's podcast doesn't look like this. Everybody's podcast doesn't have a journalist, somebody that does research and asks the right questions. Everybody that's been on here has said the same thing about us, man. Y'all got quality. Man, you asked some good questions, I was relaxed. Those are the stuff that we like to hear. So I think we can be big in Columbia and South Carolina with the podcast, I think we could do the numbers. We just got to figure it out, and that's where we lean on people like you, to teach us how to do that.
Man, like I said, like I was telling your boy earlier, man, what I wouldn't give to go back to this setup, man, that is real, is raw. Back to the days of hustling, like I was saying, this is how we started out. I think I started out with a Pentax camera. Right. You know what I'm saying? One blog, fast forward today, man, we got about nine websites, about 5 newsletters. Right. And, when you go away, the further you get away from the street, man, you guys are at this level, and now the tools that you got at your disposal, and the biggest thing, man, that I see, you guys got a quality and a setup. You just got to get that networking together, and go after these sponsors and figure out how am I going to get information to the people, because that's what all these podcasts, if you watch the news and you listen to all the Republicans, what they always saying, so-and-so said something on the podcast, so-and-so said something on the podcast. Right. Go back, because this is the medium. TV is on the way. Newspaper is dead. TV is on its way out. If you don't have a streaming service, if you don't have where you're going directly to the audience and you don't need a news network to do it. Right. That's what you have to do, and that's what you have to set up for, man. Right. And you just got to, like you said, you got to be able to get with people and network this thing. One of the reasons question I have for you, why you don't have the intro with you rapping, man? I heard some of your songs on Facebook. It's fire, man. You got that voice. Where your intro?
Oh,
you
man.
need to do your intro.
Well, what we do on the intro, we do all my advertising for my businesses. So, yeah, I mean, we could incorporate a jingle in. We're 3 months in, so we're definitely learning, and we're learning on the fly. And then we have a lot of other people now. But my basis of anything I do right now is I'm not rich, but I'm well. So basically, with everything that I've been doing is trying to put my people on. Like I seen Harry when he was doing all these other people's podcasts and stuff like that, and I just want to put the spotlight on Harry. You know what I mean? I call him Hip Hop Harry, but you know what I'm saying. And he's got Prime Tech Studios. I want to put the spotlight on Prime Tech Studios. My man is down there in Conway, South Carolina. E-Ball. He was doing barbecue and catering down there. I wanted to bring him up and do something more. You get more clientele like throughout the state because I enjoy his barbecue and everybody in Conway enjoys barbecue, but everybody in the state needs to know his barbecue and everybody in the state needs to taste his barbecue sauce and get it in the grocery stores. So I'm investing in him. We've been doing a tailgate, and some days we make money and that's all well, and some days we give away food. It's like the Old Dominion game. Nobody came out to watch Carolina play Old Dominion. We had a bunch of food. We just started giving out people, and those people have been coming back and they've been hitting them up. So my whole thing is that I work with PHE Bosa Entertainment. That's on PHE Powerhouse Entertainment with a guy that's already established out here and has been doing a lot of artists that's known like Jehovah SC, PHE Raw, DZ McDuffie, and so on and so on. But he's been working with them and he has good work. My goal for him is to put light on him. You know what I mean? I don't charge him what I'm supposed to be charging him. You know what I mean? Those are the things that I'm here for. My name is Wali. You know what I'm saying? Wali in Arabic means a friend of God. I'm just trying to lend a helping hand and be a friend to people. And you know what I mean? And eventually the money's going to come to me one way or the other. But what we do with that intro is that's my advertisement. He spotlights the late night with Sharif. He spotlights my clothing lines. I gave you a shirt. South Crack, you know what I mean? I've trademarked that term that everybody's been saying for 20 years. Okay. But nobody trademarked it. I went to an event, and I just getting out the house because I've only been retired for a year and 3 months, so I'm just getting out the house. But so I went to a show. They started talking about trademarking stuff, and I trademarked that term. Now people want to buy it from me because they didn't even know it was trademarked. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean. We're not gonna sell it. So that's it's not about the money. I have money. I left a lucrative the automotive. I worked for Galliana Chrysler Jeep for 20 years and had clients out the I want to curse, but I had clients out the ass. So you know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? When I left there, I had a nice, I was able to dig in my 401k 2 times and still left with a nice 401k.
Okay, that's what it's about.
You know what I mean? And still, you know what I mean? So I was well off, and my wife's a chemical engineer, and a mechanical engineer. We ain't hurting for money. So, right. You know what I'm saying? Thank God, you know what I mean? And that could change overnight. So we're grateful and we're praying that it stays that way. But my whole thing is I know a lot of talented people, and, you know what I mean, they don't know how to get on. Okay. And stuff like that. And so that's my main thing is to highlight the stuff that I'm doing.
Cool, man.
Yeah. But the music, though, we do need to incorporate, back to what you were saying, we do need to incorporate the music and stuff. But he's done my videos. Prime Tech has done my videos. And I had done a video before him, but he has done my videos and stuff like that. And he's my go-to guy. And I have people that hit me up all the time that may have a bigger name.
Right.
But I'm rolling with the team, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna we're gonna keep doing videos, and we're doing the back of the building freestyle, and that's nothing new. People doing freestyle stuff and dropping the mic and everything, but it's our version. This is the back of the building that we run. We don't pay anybody for a location, or we're not rolling up on people's locations. We're in the back of our building, so when they walk through the door, they can do a podcast, they can get some studio time, and they can roll in the back of the building and drop a song, and then not a freestyle, but a song. You know what I mean? Whatever song you got recorded or whatever, we ain't cutting you off after a minute or something like that. If your song's 4 minutes long, we tape it.
All right.
You know what I mean? We just did Panessa Young. I did the first one. We just did Panessa Young, and I'm pretty sure after people see Panessa Young's freestyle, then that's just gonna open up the floodgates with her with the people. So man, it's all business. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's love too. It's love for the state. It's love for the city. You know what I mean?
I got you, man. It ain't nothing wrong with that. But like I say, shout out to your camera guy. The production is on point. But I think what it's we've got to get to that point where I worked in the music industry for about 5 years. Worked with Universal Records. We did some things with artist development, and one of the things that I see, especially with what you guys got, you got to treat it like a production company. If you got, I'm just throwing something out there, you got to think about what Master P was able to do. What Master P was able to do, nobody else. They closed the loop door on that. So if you essentially had a production company. So if you got a production company, what I would do if you trademark South Cac, and I'm just throwing this out there, then that becomes a production. South Crack becomes a production company. You want to put your team on. You've got you've got a production studio. Get several other people. Hey, you want to do a podcast? Let's do your podcast. It's $150, $100 do your podcast. Boom. Now you got several other podcasts. You may have somebody talking about business. You may have somebody talking about art or something. Whatever. You build from there, and the same thing what Master P was able to do when they, just like the street, they always talk about distribution. All the corner boys know about distribution. Well, when the record company came to Master P, we got this record deal. We want to do manufacturing and recording, or production and recording. Master P said, no, I got 30 artists. I'm producing my own music. I don't need that. I want the production deal. If you can't give me the production deal, go on away. They gave him the production deal. That's how he, you know what I'm saying? That's how he became a billionaire. But that's what you guys have here. And one of the major things is when all this is valuable. You know what I'm saying? You making a product. All this stuff is valuable. When you put this on YouTube and you start developing an audience, that's what record companies want. They don't look at it like, oh, they ain't doing nothing, making a little bit of money over there. Every record company looks at it like, oh, they taking money out of our pocket. Let's go get some of their money, and that's all it is. That's the same thing they did to Master P. And what you have here is a closed, self-sufficient production company, full house. You can do anything the big boys can do. You know what I'm saying, man? Just own your audience. That's the key to this thing. Own the audience, and being connected into the bonding. And the bonding company is what you do. You tied into the street and that struggle. So, you got a lot to say, and you're talking to people and you interviewing people that got a lot to say, man. And you need to take that and, start talking with the solicitor, the sheriff company, the police. Hey, and having that conversation. Yo, these young people are hurting. You need to come on my podcast. Y'all need to start coming and let's talk funding. And don't be afraid to have that conversation, because that was the biggest part with taking us to that level, is to be able to say, we need to have that funding conversation, man. And I just shout out to what you guys are doing, man. So, y'all on point.
So before I get into you, that's my big thing about Columbia is, you know what I'm saying, like, everybody wants free. Nobody wants a fee. You know what I mean? And I'm sick of it, but you know what I mean? I'm tired of watching artists, pour their heart out every week, and the the restaurant make the money, and you know what I mean, and you know, and they don't even they even give them a bill. I mean, I posted that today, and I had like 4 or 5 people like from other places because I have a I have a little following, and they wanted to know, you know what I mean, who's giving the artist a bill. And I was just like, well, you know, I'm not throwing no shade at nobody because, you know what I mean, these places are giving them a platform where a lot of places do not want to give them a platform. But I wouldn't charge the artists that's bringing in people and stuff like that. And I mean, back when I was rapping and doing shows and stuff like that, you know, everybody didn't pay us to come on stage, but we at least got the bar tab. Right. You know what I mean? So that's in the bar tab, not everybody don't drink, but the bar tab consists of, you know, if you got an entourage of 6 or 7 people, they'll tell you, okay, we got up to 5 of your people, and they got your drinks and they got your food, you know what I mean? And they may not let you order steak and stuff. They may say, hey, your people can get, you know, the chicken fingers, the buffalo wings, and the cheese sticks, but they can get something, you know what I mean? So it's all about treating these people good because they running away from these places, and sooner or later these places not even gonna have no live entertainment. So you know what I mean. So my whole thing is that, and then my whole thing is community work. I've always been in the community. Even when I worked on the car lot, we was on Broad River. We was in the community. We was doing different stuff and things like that. And I always gave back. I'm not gonna tell anybody who I give to and what I gave. You know what I mean? Because I don't want that to block my blessings. But, you know what I'm saying? But we've always been giving back. But now I'm in a position where I got a lot of time on my hand, and I just don't want to sit around. My daughter actually runs my bail bonding company. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the only place I work is Richland County and Lexington County. She handles everything else for me, all our other counties and everything like that. And I do the report because I like to look at the numbers. Other than that, because I just don't know. She's 24. But I'm grooming her to do all of that where I could just sit back in the next 3 years. I'm 47, 50. You know what I mean? She'll be running everything. You know what I mean? And because she's already pretty good, and you know, she's learning real fast. So you know what I mean? And she's already has the connections with the bank. You know what I mean? I've let her, the bank that finances all the bonds and stuff. So I've put her in the right rooms with the right people and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And all of that, you know what I mean? All of that is, you know what I'm saying, to get to hell and sit down and be able to, you know, get with a manual and do movies and do things like that. And that's what I'm leading to, more of the cinema, you know what I mean? More, you know, documentary and things like that, you know what I mean? Like, so, but we want to get out of we want to help, but we want to get out of the free business. So you know what I mean. Anybody that knows how to help me, you know what I mean. I've written 3 grants, and all 3 of them. Well, we're waiting on a word back from one, but I've written 3 grants. I've been denied twice. You know, I've petitioned Richland County. Had a big thing where all the kids was getting killed, and my nephew got killed in 2015, 14 years old, coming from Lord Park playing basketball. Nigeria Bugs was a big thing, press conferences and everything, and all they wanted to do was push stuff back on the community. Leon Lott, Holbrook, they wanted to put stuff back on the community and say, hey, y'all not doing what y'all supposed to do. Y'all not, you know, y'all need to do more for the community. Y'all need to do this. Y'all need to do that. And then when we try to do it, they don't want to give us grants. They don't want to give us no money. They had coming out of COVID, they wanted to do all the small businesses, allocate $4 or $5 million. All the places that were already established got the money. All the companies like me that could have used it didn't get anything, and it's still pending. But we already know all the money has been. We already know that was 2 years ago. 3 years ago, all the money's gone. So, you know what I mean? It's still saying it's pending. You know what I mean? They ain't even have enough balls to say, hey, you denied. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's where we at with it, man. But, you know what I'm saying, man? You know what? You kind of know me and I kind of know you, but, man, where you from, bro?
Man, I'm from right here in Columbia, man. Grew up in Greenview. Went to Keenan and Benedict. You know, started out, man. Started out when back when I started, websites was just getting started. Google was just founded, man. Just wanted to do something, man. I started a marketing company. It was called MinorityPress at the time. We was building websites. Nobody would hire us, man. Couldn't get no money. Only people hired was local local record companies. Right. So that's how I got into entertainment. I started doing work for entertainment. Kind of saw what was going on in Colombia. We didn't have any. We didn't have an ecosystem, an economy to support, and so what I saw that the local record companies doing, they was charging these young kids per hour to do recording. And so the kids was working and they was scrapping up, they saving their money just to get some recording and never could really get a full album. And so when I came to them, I said, whoa, this not how this work. So first thing I did, I said, let's create an artist development program. You let them come in and you let them pay a flat fee a month to record, and you help them record a whole project. You own the project when they finish. Once they finish, you own the rights to the project. Then you get them to manufacture CDs, and they go out and sell them, bring you back the money. So we were that first month we had signed 20 young artists to an artist development program. They had the money coming in. Now the kids had to go out and sell the CDs. Went down to this place called Rafters in 5 Points. Made a deal with them, so now they could perform on Wednesday nights. Made a record company right out here called Sounds Familiar. Right? Papa Jazz
across the street.
Went
Papa
to them.
Jazz down in Vista, right?
Yep. Went to them. Said, hey, can I sell the CDs? Boom. Once we had a place to produce the music, manufacture it, perform it, and point of sales, that was it. Right. You know, and all that happened was the record company say, whoa, what they doing down there? Right. Hey, y'all making money. Come here, boy. Let me see, how y'all doing this? And then, you know, from there on, went to work for Universal Records, worked with 3-6 Mafia. Okay. 3-6 Mafia, we helped them start.
I remember, I still listen to I listened to Project Pat this morning.
Pastor Troy, did a lot with Pastor Troy. I used to manage an artist named 48 Roy out of 48. I used to deal with the 48. And so that's how I started, man. And the thing that got me hip hop, all the dope boys used to be, hey man, I want to help. Can we? I said, man, I can't take no money from y'all, but if y'all do a car and bike show, I'll bring the artist. Right. Bet. So they were doing the car and bike show, and one thing like you, I wanted to do something for the community. I said, let me do a voter registration drive. Once I started doing a voter registration drive, messed around one year and registered about 5,000 people to vote. God the late Representative Joe Neal said, come here, let me have a conversation with you. He said, you know Reverend Al Sharp? And I said, yeah, I know the Reverend Al Sharp, and I'm familiar with him. He running for president. I want you to go work on the campaign. Okay. That's how I got into politics. Once I got into politics, it was pretty much the same thing, man. And understanding that entertainment got me in that door. And a lot of times we have to take advantage of the opportunities. Once I got on the campaign, we had to raise money for Al Sharpton, so we came up with a program. Are you familiar with the shirt? And I know his name, you know, the Scarlet Letter now, but P. Diddy back in the day had t-shirts called Vote or Die. Vote or Die, yeah. We did the production and the research for that campaign, and P. Diddy and Macy's picked it up, and they turned it into a t-shirt. It was supposed to be an education program to go out to HBCUs across the country, but Macy's turned it into a t-shirt. Oh, and that's how we got on, man. And I stayed in politics, and what you guys have here is about having that vision. And when I started out, I didn't have the vision. I had nowhere near what you guys got now. Right. You know, it's just gotta have that vision to do more. And what I saw in the record industry is the same thing I see now. We still program from that, and I don't want to get on my soapbox, but we still got that plantation syndrome. I got to work for this guy. I got to work for this. I got to be the artist and not the producer. Right. I think the most life-changing opportunity I had, In 93, I got to go to Atlanta to Freaknik, back when it was still the Freaknik.
Oh, I was living down there then.
Okay. And I got to interview Tupac Shakur. At that time, I didn't even think I knew who Tupac was, but to me it was just, he's some thug rapper. Ain't nothing.
93, keep your head up.
Yeah, but he wasn't that icon. He was popular, but he wasn't an icon. And so when I got a chance to meet him, I had a chance to interview him and talk to the brother, man. It was like getting a crash course from Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. The amount of knowledge that the young brother had and so forceful. And he the one that put it in me to go in the media. And he was saying that all the real money is made behind the camera. And he, the understanding that if you don't sell records, if you don't get that audience, nobody cares what you have to say. And that resonated with me. And so, and when I see brothers like you, what you guys doing, you guys got the tools, you got the audience, you still connected to the street. You just got to put that business sense with it. If you look at all these artists, like a Jay-Z wouldn't be Jay-Z without Damon Dash, Run DMC and all the Def Jam without the Russell Simmons, all these business people, P. Diddy at the time, So Def with Jermaine Dupri. We got to get with the business people. A lot of times when I was in the industry, it was all about the dancing and the hip hop and the smoking and the women. But it's business people that we've got to connect with the business mind to make this thing go. And like I said, what y'all got here, man, easy 6-figure production company, man, easy.
We're going to make it happen, man. And a lot of things about this team right here is, you know what I'm saying, because OGP Rose just walked in the building.
Okay.
He knows everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think, like, with a couple of us, like, we just, quiet, laid back, you know what I mean? And,
man,
but it's time to get out there. Like I said, like when we did the business meeting yesterday, where a lot of African Americans get together and do a business meeting. L Davis, what I mean, his production or whatever, is that, man, we just to the point now where we just can't be quiet no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't hold the information. You can't die with it. You know what I mean? You got to give it, and you got to do something, man. You got to do something with it. So we about giving out the information and using our platform and our resources to do that. You know what I mean? And we're gonna do. And man, we need brothers like you to show us the way. Cause I mean, we don't know. We stuck in the middle. We like too old. You know what I'm saying? Almost too old that like we don't want to take the information from the older people because they seem like they may not be with the times, and then we too young. I mean, then the other people that we listening to is too young, so it's like we stuck in the middle. They know about the internet and all this kind of stuff, but then they don't have no business tag.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like we stuck in the middle in that 40-year-old age group. We trying to figure it out, man.
I think it's that, you know what I'm saying? We've got to change that mentality. And a lot of what we do is we want to network with our homeboys. We want to network with the people we know. We've got to get out. You got to get out that comfort zone. And you've got to go downtown and you got to network with these white people. You've got to network with these law firms. You got to say, hey, you got to talk how they talk. I have an urban audience. I have a production company that produces content for urban audience. See, we've got to go to the people with the money. We talking to our homeboys and networking. We go to the networking event where everybody on our same level. You can't you've got to step it up and go to that next level where you in the room with the CEO of Wells Fargo, the marketing person from the bank, and say, hey, all your people coming through here grown, got mortgages. You know what I'm saying? Wells Fargo. You got to be at the networking event with Wells Fargo and saying, hey, I'm a producer. I own a production company. And this is, hey, I talk to an urban audience. That's all the Jews in the record company. That's all that's what they sell us. They don't sell, I got this many black people on my podcast or my network. Right. they selling us.
Right.
We go down there and we just don't do that. We still in that slave mentality. And and I was telling you earlier, Snoop Dogg just said he did 1 billion streams and got paid less than $50,000. When we could get paid, they was paying us pennies on the albums. But they took that away because it was 10% of y'all getting too much. That's too much. We created 2 or 3 billion there. Cut that out. Then it went to streaming. So now you're getting a fraction of a cent for a stream. It's a slave wage.
So if you get 1 million streams, how much money do you get?
It's still, I think me and Emmanuel was going over that. About 3,000. Yeah, you can't. 3, you know what I'm saying? You got product. You got the clothing line. You know, you got to turn that and you trademark it, then it need to be South Crack everything. Shoes, I don't care what it is. And this podcast, man, you need to turn this into an event. An event just like late night show, where your band. You need to have you a band. You need to have your artists interview your artists, and then you let them perform. That's it. The formula we
have been doing that, but we don't have a band.
You ain't got to rewrite the wheel, man. You got 6 figures right here. Your team, you can get 6 figures with your team now, man. It's just like I said, we've got to rework that mindset, and a lot of time we want to come in at the ground level. That's what, if you listen to Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I created an ebook called I Have a Mogul, and it was called Being the Brand, whatever be the brand, whatever business owner can learn from Jay-Z. And if you look at what Jay-Z did when he dropped that first album, Reasonable Doubt, he was still a corner boy. He didn't have no money. But when he took that picture next to that car and that suit on, he was projecting, this who I am. And see, a lot of time we want to project the corner boy. You know what I'm saying? We good with the block. We won't run the block, but they run the city. You know what I'm saying? But we stuck in that block mentality, and Jay-Z went, and Jay-Z said, no, I want the city. And then that's what he did. And then he came back and put an album out, The Blueprint. Then he went and told, this how I did it.
And this is where I'm going. A lot of people think The Blueprint is a bragging album. Like, this is how I did it. No, but he said in that album, this is how I did it. And this is where I'm going. Right. Like, I ain't done. I love The Blueprint
That's it, man.
album.
I did that. I didn't know.
They should put that on. Like, that should be a textbook.
I did 500,000 downloads of that ebook. I wasn't selling. I was just building an email list. I did over 500,000 downloads. They were using that ebook in New York, the movie school, Columbia. A guy, shout out to Terry.
Columbia, New York. Columbia, the Ivy League school.
Yeah, what's the film school? I can't think of the film school, but a guy from here did a guy named Terry did the Gangs of South Carolina. I don't know if you know. He was up in film school. Said, we using that. Yeah, we use that. Yeah. Because the business principles, and we've got to understand. Even when it was the music, we care so much about the music, but I don't understand. It's called the music business. We do music all day, but what about the business? And a lot of times we forget that we need that network with those business people and those artistic people, because you got to get paid off artistry. And you know what you guys have here. I mean, you've got everything a Fortune 500 or Fortune 500 company has.
Right. So, man, I appreciate you, brother. No problem, man. Unfortunately, I like to talk for hours. Right. Man. I'm short on time today, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this little speed round that we like to do. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this little speed round that we like to do, man. We just gonna ask you it's gonna either be like not multiple choice, but either or. And then I'm just gonna ask you how you feel about a person. But we gotta make it quick though. Okay. Usually I step in and I say, well, why you say that? And then that goes on for another 30 minutes. And I can't do that tonight, but we would love for you to come back, man. Right. And this was kind of like a double interview. You got to talk to me, I got to talk to you and everything like that. So when did you graduate from Benedict?
I didn't graduate from Benedict. I left junior year to start my company.
To start your company.
Yes.
And what year was that?
Wow. Oh, God. 97, 90, 96, somewhere in there.
Oh, so you're not 50 yet.
No, I ain't 50 yet. Got one more year. Yeah.
You got one more year. Okay, you riding there with me. So all right, I got you.
Okay.
Tupac or Biggie?
Oh, Tupac, definitely.
Tupac. Oh, see, I want to elaborate on that. But that's cool. I love Tupac too. But, Jay-Z or Dame Dash, business wise.
Damon Dash. Wouldn't be no Jay-Z if it wasn't Damon Dash.
Okay, cool. P. Diddy or Jermaine Dupri?
I'm gonna go with Jermaine Dupri.
Jermaine Dupri. Cash Money or No Limit?
Oh God, No Limit. That was his song. That was the music of my youth.
Priority or Interscope?
Interscope.
Interscope. Bad Boys or Death Row?
Death Row.
Death Row. Okay. All right. I almost had. I got 3 more. I about lost it. Okay. HBCU or Ivy League?
HBCU all day.
HBCU all day. Kamala Harris. We ain't gonna ask you about Donald Trump. We're not gonna ask you to say who you vote to, but how do you feel about Kamala Harris?
That's who we need to be voting for. Regardless of how you feel about her.
That's who we need to be voting for.
That's what we need to be voting for.
All right. You know I want to talk some more, but we just we just short on time. So
I got you.
So what do you feel about like South Carolina business and whole? Like short answer, but South Carolina business is South Carolina doing good business, or are we still behind so far?
South Carolina is doing good business, but it's 2 classes. Mm. It's the haves and have-nots. Mm. That's the problem. And we've got to get more of us to the haves. To the haves.
Okay. What do you feel about the industry? Do you feel like everything in South Carolina is rigged? Or is like clicked up, rigged up? Or is it just, the artist is not putting in enough work? What's going on with rap in South Carolina?
Oh, God. That industry needs leadership. There's nobody leading. Everybody's doing their own thing. We ain't gonna get to the top. If you look at Atlanta, well, I ain't gonna go. If you look what Atlanta did, we need to do what Atlanta did. We won't do that, and that's the only reason.
Right. And I'm with you on that. Man, shout out to how people. I don't even know if you're offering your services right now. Or how do people reach you if they need to know anything, or are you doing any speaking or anything?
Man, I do a lot of consulting stuff. Unfortunately, right. I don't do a lot with small business. Right. I typically work, but I do consulting for media companies. Right. But anybody we do interviews for people just doing positive things in the community. Right. We the Minority Info Network on all social media platforms. Info, yeah. You can find us. We out there. The main website is the MinorityEye. We the largest minority-owned media outlet in the state, over 500,000 subscribers. We got 9 websites, a streaming radio, 24-hour streaming radio station, a multimedia magazine called the Minority Times. Right. The radio is the Minority Voice. We out here, of course, we about helping minorities.
Well, man, I want to thank you for coming on.
No problem.
But I also want to do like a part 2 where we have a longer interview.
Okay, no problem.
Because you have a plethora of knowledge, you know what I mean? And I just think the interview is a little bit too short. So I would like, for you to come back with all the knowledge that you have. I don't think we'll be able to, reach everybody that we need to reach. Man, whatever we can do for you that day that you want to come out, we'll roll the red carpet out. We'll have some food. We usually have food on Friday. Okay. I just didn't have time today. But we'll roll the red carpet out for you, man. Feed you, do whatever you want, man. We want to get some more info out of you, man, and listen to you for an hour and see, you'll make us all better.
Yeah. I try, man. I just want to share what I know, man. Because like I said, man, shout out to you brothers and everybody on your team, man. Y'all putting out a A1 product. Keep going, man.
Man, I appreciate you.
No problem, man.
Thank you, my brother.
All right.
But we got to get a picture, though.
All right.